Hello and welcome back. I'm Lemon and I'm making Patch Quest, an action roguelike game with a twist. You have a lasso that lets you mount and ride all of the monsters in the game, and while riding a monster, you can use 3 of its animal-inspired skills. What you're seeing right now is footage of the 4 new dungeons that I've added recently. The Tar Pits is home to lizards and birds from a prehistoric era. Some of them have been trapped in this tar for a really, really long time. The Lost Dojo is packed full of booby traps. Step carefully, trust nothing. The Frozen Flume is a pristine fortress of ice. It's a pretty chill place to hang around. Until it all starts to melt, at least. And the starlit cavern is full of mysterious crystals with a variety of dangerous effects. Many of the dungeons contain keys and locked doors, and they're generally just a lot more complex than the ones that I made earlier in the year, which is why they've taken a bit longer to implement as well. Of course, they're also major pieces of content for the game, and so I don't want to spoil everything in this video. So, let's change topic.
And now for something completely different.
Patch Quest has a perks grid with 20 different unlockable perks. You gain a new one each time you level up. Many of these perks are super cool, but some of them are less useful, so I've gradually been making some upgrades to the grid. The new Sap Extractor perk lets you pull the juice out of a hazardous plant and then use it as your weapon. This works on any plant that can shoot, and you gain that plant's shooting attack. However, this effect is temporary, so you'll need to be near some hazardous plants to use this perk. The Vitamins perk is extremely powerful. It basically adds a super effective mechanic to the game. But while Pokemon uses a very complicated chart to figure out whether a move is super effective, Patch Quest has a much simpler rule, which is, if you inflict a matching ailment on a monster, you'll cause an explosion. So water monsters need to be soaked, fire monsters need to be burned, and so on. So it's very simple to remember which ailments will trigger it, and it deals a massive amount of damage too. Finally, we have the Super Spritzer. This perk unlocks a 4th skill for your mount, a super attack. To use it, you need to activate both of your regular mount attacks at the same time, and then you'll unleash this crazy swarm of bullets instead. The exact kind of super move that you use depends on the mount that you have, and this move is extremely powerful, but it also drains a lot of your mount's stamina, so use it sparingly, because once that stamina runs out, you'll dismount. Moving on from perks, I've also upgraded some of the monsters themselves. Magelian has a brand new appearance that I think gives him a lot more character. He will also now slowly change colour over time, just like a real chameleon. Lunon has also been given a makeover. Before, he was a fairly bog-standard lion, but I think this new design really emphasizes the celestial and lunar theme of the monster. And of course, I gave the female variant, Stellan, a makeover too. Last, but definitely not least, I've added a brand new monster to the game, Snowdo. This guy was based on a community submission over at the Discord server. The resemblance is uncanny. Snowdo's blizzard skill will reflect all bullets in a ring around you, so it's great for when you're surrounded on all sides. The reflected bullets are also turned into ice, so that they'll freeze any monsters they hit. Snowdo can also lay eggs, which hatch into tiny snowlets, and these snowlets follow you around and help out in combat. And he also has a sleep-inducing lullaby attack. Snowdo is one of the more unique monsters in the game, skills-wise, but I think he's a great addition, so shout out to BaguetteBug for the original idea. Okay, so originally I had wanted to start moving towards an early access Steam release at this time. However, it's become clear that the game needs a few extra months of development so that it's really putting its best foot forwards on launch. I've always imagined Patch Quest as a hybrid between a roguelike and a Metroidvania game, because I really like the way that roguelikes use randomness to create new situations. And I also really like how Metroidvania games let you explore an open, maze-like world, and how you'll gradually unlock new areas as you progress. Unfortunately, I've started to realize that these two genres don't always fit together perfectly. In particular, there's one key point of conflict that makes them hard to combine. Roguelikes have random levels, and Metroidvanias have fixed, carefully designed levels, and so the key to making a good Roguevania game is finding a balance between the randomization and designing of levels. In Patch Quest, as of now, the world map is mostly randomized. These key landmarks, like the dungeons you were shown earlier, are always in the same place each time, but the roads that connect them are randomized on each run. And this is why the map looks like spaghetti.
And believe me, it tastes magnificent.
So this means that the game is leaning way more towards Rogue than Vania right now, and I'd like to do something to alter that balance at least a little bit. So I've decided that actually, the game needs a fixed overworld map. In other words, I need to draw a maze, and to make that maze interesting, I'll also add some one-way locked doors, so that you can open up new routes by travelling the long way around and unlocking a door from the back, a lot like how you might do in Dark Souls. Of course, random encounters are a key part of Patch Quest gameplay, and so the rooms themselves will still be random. Specifically, the world map is what's going to be fixed. So it'll be random on a small scale, but fixed on a big scale. And I think this is going to give the game a lot more structure and make the island a lot more interesting and exciting to explore. So that's my goal for December. And then, as we move into the new year, I'll start wrapping up loose ends and the game can finally move towards an early access launch. I'll be back soon with more videos on Patch Quest and gaming in general, so remember to sub and ring the ding dong if you want to be notified. You can also follow my daily development live blog by joining the Discord server, and you can wishlist Patch Quest on Steam as well, which helps me out because it lets me know how many people are interested in the game. The links are all in the doobly-doo. But that's all for now, and as always, thanks for watching.